Hello, hello friends. Welcome. I'm Robin with Zimmy's Simple Designs. If you see the little red live light, you've caught me live. If not, you're watching the replay. Please type in hashtag replay. Say hello. Tell me where you're watching from so I can say hello to you, welcome you to my page. Sorry guys. I don't know why I have problems with that. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. I'm going to find myself so I can see comments and get myself sprinkled. All right. When you pop in, say hello. Oh. Hey, Kayla. How are you today? How's Mr. Sawyer? He's snoozing. So you're catching a break, huh? Am I on my business? Yeah, I'm on my business page. I don't know why I asked that, because I'm watching. How is everybody? Hey, Jane. Hi, Krista. Okay. See, he's been wound for sound since 6:30. It sounds like maybe he was ready for a nap, huh? Oh, all right. Hey, Krista. Hey, Mary. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Thank you for sprinkling. Hey, Miss Lori. How are you doing? I hope you're getting better, feeling well. Oh, good to see that you're going to be in today's event. It's been a while. Hey, Karen. Hi, Deborah. Welcome, everybody. All right. I am in an event today with the Stand Tall Crafting Group. Hello, Debbie. Hosted by Miss Krista. Thank you for sprinkling. Thank you for sprinkling, Lori. Thank you, everybody. With Stand Tall Crafts. Hey, Tammy. Anyway, she's our hostess. She puts on weekly events every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hello, Carol Ruth. Anyway, up after me is Miss Lori with Lori Resiliently Crafting. She will be our next creator today. So it will be good to see her crafting. I know she's been very sick, and I'm just happy that she's going to be on today. Hello, Alicia. Thank you for sprinkling, Carol Ruth. All right. Today we are going to be working on a brand new wood kit I have, and it's a set of Pilgrims. You get a little girl and a little boy, or a man and a woman, however you want to look at it. You'll get this little piece will be the brim of his hat, his little collar, and some little feet, because these are going to kind of be standalone, and you'll get, the same for the little girl or the little boy. You'll get these pieces. Now, they will, I have a set here that I didn't stain, so they come looking like this, guys, when you get them in the mail. And like I said, you get the set of 2, and then I stain them. Of course, I always stain my pieces, but anyway, if anybody's interested in a set, they are $20 plus shipping, and you can just private message me. So that's what we're going to work on today. I know, I'm really jumping into fall here. I'm already headed into Thanksgiving. Hey, Tammy. All right. So we're going to get going. But my first thing I'm going to do is, originally I was going to put a little apron on her with some fabric. I had taken a piece of tea towel, but it didn't look right because there's not a whole lot of space between her feet and her little collar. And so it didn't balance right, so I didn't like it. So instead, I'm going to take this stencil and we're going to add that on her dress as a feature. Now, the little boy, we're going to kind of leave him plain, you know, because it's a little boy. I just wanted to kind of give her just something a little different. So, and then I'll paint it. So I'm going to get this on here. I'm just kind of centering it where I want it. Thank you all for being here. Hi, Terry. Hey, Jenny. Hi, Lori. Thank you for sprinkling. Hi, Rita. Thank you for sprinkling, Tammy. It's not letting you share. I'm sorry, Tammy. I don't know what's going on. It's okay. I know you tried. All right. So in this, I got this set of stencils. They come in a package like this. You get all of these. You're fine. You had me scared. I thought I read the schedule wrong. I thought, well, is there somebody? Because I've done it many times. So I had to go back and look. So anyway, I got these off of Amazon. So I do have an affiliate with them. So I do make a small commission. I can get you the link for it if you're interested. But yeah, so I'm going to use, and I like using this. It's called modeling paste. Modeling paste. And I got, this is Master's Touch. So I got it at Hobby Lobby. And it's over by the paint supply, or the art supplies, where the art supplies are. You don't have any sound? Can you all hear me? Or is it just Krista? You do, Carol? You might have to go out and come back in. Hi, Gwen. You can hear me, Carol? I hope everybody, you hear me, Terry? Okay. So it must be you, Krista. Everybody else is hearing me. Okay. Had to go out and come back in. All right. So that's what we're using. I just had some in this little cup. I had added sheepskin folk art chalk paint to it. And that's, I'm going to kind of use it up. So that's what we're using for it. But if you have the joint compound, or you could also use the Tim Holtz crackle paste. You could use that in here. Anything like that, you could put it, you know, do this with. So, so we're going to get going. I'm going to get this on here. And this will dry pretty quick. So, and then I'm going to paint it. And we're going to paint over the top of it. I just want to give it a little bit of texture, a little bit of interest. So we'll get this on there. So how's everybody's day going? I've been watching everybody. I was watching Karen and saw her little cute little broom, and then got to see Jenny's witch's hat. And Karen was telling her story about her husband's car, and I remember one night my husband took me out on a date, and he had two vehicles. He had a truck and he had a Monte Carlo, which was fairly new. And for whatever reason, even though this truck he had didn't always run right, he decided we were going to go out in it. He was going to take me out that night, and we were going to take his truck. Well, he went to drop me off. Well, he went to leave, and his truck wouldn't start. So I had to go out and help him push his truck. It's like, why would you do that to me? So the water thing, I was like, yeah. I was like, that is not fun. Have to push her. And yet I still married him. So, you know, we you know, the things we do, right? And I was born in a very small town, or not born, my teenage years were spent in a very small community. My children were born and raised there. And we no longer live there, but I do miss it. So I know all about the cows, and I married him. I married him anyway. You're right, Krista. I married him anyway. All right, so we're going to lift this, and hopefully, and I'll lift it up and show you what it looks like. But I'm going to take this paper plate, and I'm going to set this aside so I don't get it in anything. Okay. Clean that up a little. That edge. And that's what it looks like. So it's kind of raised. Hello, Lori. And we'll dry that. It's not showing any of the icons. I don't know what's going on, Tammy. I have no idea. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. Hello, Shauna. Well, you know, don't believe me that, huh? Well, you know, it's really funny. I used to babysit my nephew, and he was about 2 or 3, and we went for a drive. Of course, we live in Iowa now, but at the time we lived in a very small community in Arizona, and we decided to go up the mountain, as you would say, because we lived up in the mountains of Arizona. And we went up further. There was a ski resort in another town, and we went up there. And along the way, of course, it's reservation, and so there would be, you'd really have to watch, because the cows would be out there roaming, and you'd have to watch, make sure they didn't cross the road while you were going. And we were headed up there, and my nephew, my husband was making comments about the cows and all of that, and we were telling my nephew, look out the window, look at the cows, look at the cows. And my husband decided, well, maybe, Cutter, you should name one of them cows. So he did. They came up with the name Snot Blower. He named this cow Snot Blower. Well, on the way back home, Cutter decided he wanted his picture taken with his cow. So we had to stop and take a picture of him with the cow. And we got it, we actually went, had it developed, and put it in a frame for him. And you know that to this day, he still has that picture of his cow. Hi, Karen. Hi, Kay. Hi, Patty. So, you know, the things the kids do in the country. So I'm going to paint her dress breezy blue. And this is chalk paint from Nicole with a Frayed Knot. We got this all dry. Maybe. Yeah, he just graduated in May, and he's now a hot shot. But yeah, he's had that picture ever since. It was fun. It was kind of a fun day for him. He had a blast. All right. So we'll get this painted up. That took me a little longer than I thought, but we're going to hurry and get this painted. I'm doing good. Karen, how are you? I'm doing really well. Let's see if I can find I don't need a great big paintbrush, but well, let's try this one. Actually, that's probably too small. I've either got great big or not big enough. So we'll use this one. And I'm going to do the edges. You're okay? Well, good. Hey, Renee. Now we're going to paint this edge. I'm just going to paint the edge. And I will probably sand the edges. You all know me. I like vintage. I like rustic. So I usually paint and then sand. I didn't wax these. I'm just going to sand them a little, and then I'll probably take my Bare Dark wax and wax them up. We're going to get this edge done first. So I hope everybody's doing well today. It's really nice here. It's going to get hot here, though. It's going to warm back up here. I think Saturday it's supposed to be in the upper 80s with the heat, but the humidity is going to be up like 60%, so it's going to feel way warmer than that. And then Sunday it's going to be even warmer than that. So I told my husband last night, I said, man, this year it's either like really cool or it's really hot. There's been nothing really in between. Hi, Nora. Hey, Melissa. How are you? There's been no in between, seems like. Have they? Well, I don't mind the upper 70s. I really don't. And that's what it's been the last few days, which has been really nice. And I know I'm painting all right, we're going to get this. I'm hearing the hummingbirds are active this afternoon, which is unusual. Thank you for sprinkling. My husband and I went out there last night? No, the night before, and was watching them. We had about 8 hummingbirds out there fighting over the 2 feeders that are out. Well, actually, I have 3 feeders, 2 out back and 1 out front. And they were going from the front to the back and chasing each other off. And we got one that will land right on the feeder. And then when the other hummingbirds try to get food, he chases them off. So they are so fun I love to watch the hummingbirds. All right, I gotta get some more paint. Hey, Yvonne, how are you today? A little bit more blue here. And I like this blue. I know it's probably not Pilgrim color, but I just wanted to do something a little different. I usually don't do much color either, and I just thought, let's do something different. Let's give him a little bit of color. The little boy, though, is going to be gray. But I'm hoping these turn out cute. I kind of came up with this pattern. I took one of my other patterns and altered it to get this. All right, so there's that. And I'm gonna see something. How far kind of up I wanna go. I think I wanna go up just a little bit higher on here. Just like that, kind of round that. And then I'll paint her face. Hey, Barb. How are you today? Sorry guys, I poured way too much blue paint. I don't want to waste it. This is my new wood kit, Melissa, that I'm doing. It's a Pilgrim. It's a set of Pilgrims. Little girl, this is going to be the little girl. And then, hi, Deborah. And then I have a little boy here that we're doing today. So next, I'm going to paint our little boy. Trying to get motivated. I know them days. Oh, I was going to also tell you that there is a difference in the collars, or the little collars on these kits. They're, the one that's the bigger collar will go on the little girl, and that goes the same for the feet. There's just a little bit of a difference in size, you can see. And so the smaller ones will go on the boy and the larger one. I did that because of the little girl's dress would be a little fuller than it would be on a, for a little boy. So just so you guys know that. Hello, Melissa's Vintage Finds. How are you? So the color I am doing the boy is called Gray Squirrel, and all the paints I'm using today are from Nicole with Afraid Not. She has her own chalk paint line. I do have a link. If you click the little link button down there at the bottom, I do have a link down in there for that. I am also an affiliate for her. And there is if you do decide to buy paint from her, she has some codes you can use. If you buy 3 bottles, if you use the code, hi Shay, code bundle3, all capital, no space between bundle and 3, you will get a discount on your paints. You can do that also, bundle, if you buy 5, you can do bundle 5 or bundle 10. And you get like you just put it in the code, when you're ordering, there's where it says coupon code or something, just put it in there and you'll get a discount on your paints. So, and I love her chalk paint. I need to order a couple of colors from her. I was noticing the other day when I was going to paint something. I was like, I better get some more of that. And now we're getting him all painted up. And I don't know if it's going to look right. I don't have anything to really make a buckle. I was trying to come up with something. I did find something, but I'm not sure it's going to look right. But I'll let you guys look and help me decide what you think. I'm just going to kind of paint around this. I'm not being perfect, guys. This part's going to be, covered up by that collar. So we're just going to get it painted up here real quick. And if you, like I said, if you want one of these kits, just private message me. I'm also doing a silent auction today. You guys want to go check that out for the next 24 hours. So if there's anything over there you'd like to check out and see what I got. Hello, Linda. Yeah, I thought about that, but I was afraid I wouldn't get it very small, Barb. Because he's not a very big little guy. And I was afraid even with hot glue, I wouldn't be able to get it, small enough to look right. So, yeah. Because that was a thought. That was a thought. Okay, so now we're going to do up our other parts. It's just in my feed, Gwen. Just go to my main page and look down. I think I've only made one other post since I posted it this morning. So, yeah. So now I'm gonna lay this down here real quick because I want to figure out their face. I want to kind of do that real quick, I think. And I'm gonna paint their face. I like to use TP when I do faces. My goodness. Having a tough time getting these open. All right. I don't need much, but I probably poured out way too much. Probably this brush will work. So I'm gonna paint the side here. My daughter was on. She must have had to leave. My daughter came on right as I came on live, but she must have had to leave. She works from home, so, you know, if she gets a call, she's got to, of course, get off. I'm going to go right about there. For the face on that. And like I said, I'm not getting these perfect. I kind of like primitive, so I don't really worry about getting anything perfect. So, all right, now I'm gonna lay this on top. My comments just quit working, I think. Oops. Yeah, I think my comments just quit working. Let's see if I can get out and come back in. I think. Or everybody's being quiet. There we go. And I probably went up too far on there. That's okay. We'll paint over it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Thank you, Melissa. You must have the day off or on your lunch. Yeah, she tries to pop in. I asked her, my grandson, she said he was down for a nap because sometimes she'll put it on and then she'll get it up on the TV and so he can watch it. And she said he was taking a nap. She said he woke up bright and early at 6:30 and was ready to go. Was off and running, which is, yeah, that's normal for him. All right, so now we got that part painted. So she's coming together. And I'm going to do the same for the little boy. I think we'll mark there. He's a little, and he's full of energy, that's for sure. But I told her, I said, well, he's just like you then. So that's the way she was. She would wake up early. When she woke up, she was ready for the day. There was no messing around. She was off and running. My sons were never like that. I got spoiled with them because they were kind of quiet. They would get up and they would kind of just watch TV and kind of finish waking up for the day. No, not her. Not her. All right. I got quiet. I'm sorry. I'm trying to hurry and get all this painted, guys. All right. Now we got that done. Hi, Sandy. How are you today? Is that hot there? I'm sure it is. My sister-in-law and her middle daughter, and in fact my nephew, the one that I was telling you about that named the bull or the cow, are going to be here next month. They're coming out for a visit. So we're going to go down and spend a day down there with them and get to see them. They're going to be down in Ottumwa, which is about 3 hours from us. So my husband's father's birthday is in September 23rd. And so she's just coming out for that. And they're going to come out and visit. So I'm going to dry this real quick because I need to paint their little hats on top. And I don't want them, especially the black. All right, Tammy. So that should be a nice visit. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. And I'm going to paint her little hat piece and her hat. I'm going to paint Angel and the collars on both of the pumpkins, or the Pilgrims, Pilgrims. I'm going to paint this Angel, which is kind of a cream color. All right. And then I'll paint his little hat and their shoes. I'll paint Crazy Crow. Let's see. Let's get this brush. I think will work good. I like to get the sides first. Every now and then I forget to do this, but it makes it a little easier to paint if you do that. All right. I know painting is boring, guys. I'm sorry. I probably should have painted some of this, but I wanted you guys to see. Get this, and that's good. Like I said, I'm going to sand it, so I'm not worried about getting too much coverage on here. All right. And I'm going to, the best I can, I'm going to get down in there. I know that piece is kind of narrow. My neighbor man brought us the other day 2 cantaloupes and a watermelon. Oh, the watermelon was so yummy. I cut them all up and gave part of it to my daughter-in-law. She came by and got it. My husband was like so excited. He loves watermelon and cantaloupe. So he's got it out in his shop. But I might go out there and get some more of that watermelon. It was pretty tasty. It was really good. And I also, he brought a bunch of tomatoes over, and I made it some salsa yesterday. So I was kind of busy. All right, we'll get this collar painted. And I may just put one of these together because we're getting low on time, guys. Sorry. But I'll show you how the other one goes. They're not that hard, so. Are you, Rita? Yeah. And it's one of those things, you got to get it right when it's ready, huh? They don't kind of wait around. He actually gets them from a friend of his. And he usually brings us either one or two, just depending on how well this, you know, the guy, you know, how much he gets. So it's really nice. But Bob's garden's doing pretty well. So he's brought me over some bell peppers. In fact, in the salsa, he brought me over an onion and I added that to my salsa. So I have fresh tomatoes and salsa or onion in my, should be pretty good. All right, so now those are painted. I'm gonna set those aside. I got a big old glob of paint right there. I'm gonna get that off. All right, so we'll do her hat. Let me see. I don't know if that's dry enough. Yeah, that's probably good. Yeah, I know, Barb. That's the only way to have it, huh? Fresh salsa. Fresh salsa. Now, I know that some people like cilantro. I like cilantro in my salsa. But I know some people don't like that flavor. But I do. And my husband, if I make fresh salsa, then I've got to, but I don't like jalapeno in my salsa. I like green chili in my salsa. But I usually make it, and then what I got to do for him, which I think he ruins it, because the whole point of salsa is to have those chunks of the, you know, like a pico de gallo type. No. For him, I have to run it through the blender and blend it. Oh my God. Then what's the point? Really? What's the point? Okay, so we got her all painted. Thank you, Karen. All right, we'll set that aside. All right. I know they're kind of muted. Like I said, I'm not... And I almost did them more fall colors, like you know, spiced pumpkin or something, and I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I went with these. I'm not. I know, Rita, that's what makes it good, is the chunks. I mean, it's not worth eating after you pulverize it, I don't think, but you know, that's him. I'm like, okay, whatever. But then I also, when I do his, I add, because he likes jalapeno, so I'll add jalapeno to his. And while I was making it, of course, I was wishing I had some roasted green chilies. But I don't, so I didn't. Hi, Judy, how are you? So then everything else is getting painted Crazy Crow. And this is kind of I like this black because it's kind of a vintage, kind of a brownish black. It's not, it's more of a vintage black, I think. I think a little bit more. I got some pieces here to paint. But I don't like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't like the flavor of jalapeno. Is it only 67? Oh my gosh, that is chilly. Well, I think that's chilly. We're in the 70s, I think. I didn't even look before I came on. So I'm not sure. I think it's only supposed to get to 76 or 77 here today. Back to the 90s on Monday. Yeah, it's going to get warm here. I'm enjoying, yeah. Better enjoy today because I know tomorrow's going to be warmer. Although I don't mind. I got wood paint chips in there, chunks in there. I like it a little warmer than what it is, but not triple digits warm with the humidity. I'll pass on that, but that's not what's going to happen. That's what we're going to get. Hello, Brenda. How are you? All right. We'll get this painted. And like I said, I'm trying to hurry, guys. There's a little brim. And then their little feet. There we go. And I think, well, I know parts of the state, and I think this is crazy. Of course, here in Iowa, a few years back, they passed to not start school until after the state fair. So they can't start school early before the state fair. And they did that because a lot of kids here do 4-H. And they would just start school and then they would all be gone the whole week of the fair. Well, they're starting school tomorrow. I'm like, why don't they just wait until Monday? I don't know if that's the case here, but I know in parts of the state, like Des Moines and stuff, they're starting school on Monday. And I thought, that's kind of crazy. Hello, Queen Bee Bits and Baubles. How are you today? When do they start school there, Rita, or do you know? Miss Rita, she lives here in Iowa too. Hello, Diane. After the county fair. Yeah, I'm like, I understand they don't, the point in waiting until after the fair. I get that because it's like they just get the kids in a routine and then they're gone for a week. I understand that part of it, but I don't understand why they would start on a Friday. Hi, Lori. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you're feeling well since you're all over your COVID. And all right, so everything's now painted. I think I'm going to give these shoes just another coat because this black doesn't always give me the coverage I want. Yeah, Friday's weird. I don't, it's like, what point? I don't know. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I can't figure it out. Don't make sense to me. Okay. All right, Melissa, thanks for popping in. Appreciate you, girl. All right. Hello, Charlotte. All righty, we're done painting. You guys are probably thinking it's about time. All right. So I'm gonna dry these and then we'll sand, and I'll probably just kind of work on one of them. I'll pick one and we'll work on it and get it. See if I can get one of them finished. Let me see which one. Okay, that goes with her. And then this goes with him. So this one goes with her. So I might just do the little boy. And the little hat brim is still wet. So on that edge. Make sure everything's dry. All right. And I will move this over here. And I forgot to grab out my finger sander, guys. Let me grab it. They started. Oh, your kids only have 2 weeks to go? Oh. Okay, we're gonna sand. Get this all kind of distressed. My little gator sander. And of course it makes a mess. My husband was funny. "Do you have a live today?" I said, "Yes." "What time?" I said, 2 o'clock. He said, "Are you sure it's not 3? I said, "Yes, it's not 3. "Are you sure it's not 1? I said, "Yes, it's not 1. It's 2 o'clock. I'm like, give me a break. Why would I tell you? But I have been known to tell him the wrong time, so he likes to give me a hard time. And then of course, then Jenny, I was like panicking. I was like Krista, I was panicking. I was like, am I not looking at the right schedule? Okay, get that sanded. These don't take too long. He's out there. We got a really big order for a gal, and he's out there trying to get it traced out. We normally don't, he normally doesn't cut on Thursday, you know, the weekend or anything, but we got this big order, and he fortunately didn't have anything else planned, so he's out there working on, well, he mowed this morning, but now he's out there working on that, which we're very grateful for. All right. I am very grateful for. I feel very blessed from all you guys ordering and being here on my lives. And you guys, I am in an event today with the Stand Tall Crafting Group. Make sure you stick around. Miss Lori from Lori Resiliently Crafting. She's up next. I know she hasn't been on in a while. It's good to see her back. I know she's been pretty sick, so it's good to see she's back crafting tonight. Miss Krista is our hostess. The link for the group, the free group, is in the description. You guys, please go join. You can stay in there and see all of the amazing creators that are on today. And Miss Krista does lives every Tuesday and Thursday. All right. Get this just a little bit more. Oh, the worst part about this, kind of dust that off. I'll have to vacuum, right? Okay. Got everything on that sanded, and then we'll put him together. I usually use a rag, but I didn't get it. I'm being lazy. Hello, Jessica. Hi, Gail. Hi, Suzanne. Hi, Virginia. Welcome, guys. We'll set her aside. And I will take a picture of the completed project with both of them. All right. I need to get a new towel there. Okay. You're not seeing comments? I'm not. They're not going for me. So they were, and then I went out, came back in, but I think they've completely quit here. So I'm not sure what's going on. Hi, Karen. Hi, Nora. So I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if people are still here or not. So I'm going to take my Bare Dark Wax, and we're going to go around the edge real quick so we can get him together. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, unless no one's talking or they all left. Although it says 13 people are watching, so. You still there, Rita? Okay. Real quick, we're going to go around and I'm going to get my wax on. Now, you would not have to do this. You could even do these however you want. You could put scrap paper on them. You could do them real whimsical. You could, you know, whatever you like with these little guys, these two little pilgrims. Like I said, I almost considered scrapbook paper, and there was a couple of different ways I was considering it, and then I settled on this. So it took me a minute. You still watching? And get this on here. Everybody's still here. Well, I know sometimes it gets quiet, so. All right. I still want to get me some white wax before I really start doing snowman. I think, and snowman's hats, because I think that would be cool to use white wax on their black hat. I am using Bare Dark Wax, and you get it at Home Depot. I know that they changed the packaging. I believe now it's got like a gray colored label on it. It doesn't look like this anymore, but it's still the same wax. I had to order mine because we don't have a Home Depot here, but that's how I got mine. But if you're near a Home Depot, just, I think it's down like the paint aisle and stuff is where you go get it. So, but any kind of dark wax will work. Anything that you have would surely work. I mean, I've even seen, you know, where they use like a dark brown paint will even work. So just, you know, whatever you got. I hope I have the right color. Yeah. The collar for the little boy is just a little bit narrower. And when I do put my kits together and I mail them out, I usually put all of the, you know, put all the pieces in like a little baggie, and I'll probably separate them out, put the pieces for the little boy in one bag and the pieces to the little girls, and I wrap them, the sets together, so you'll know which ones go to which pieces go to which pilgrim. All right, so we got that waxed up. Okay, and we got his shoes done. Let me see, real quick. I guess I don't. I'm trying to hurry, guys. Like I said, I guess I should have done more painting than what I did. I need to learn to paint faster, huh? Thank you for all the hearts, guys. All right. So this will go here, and then his little hats and his little feet. And I have this buckle. It's like, it looks like a little buckle. And I thought about putting it there, but I thought, well, it might look kind of funny and out of place. So, and I've got a piece of tea towel that I've coffee grunged, and I'm going to make just a little bow, and we're going to add a bow. So, I'm going to see if I can get anything out of this today. My stick fast. I still need to order a bottle. Hi, Trudy. Maybe if I can get the lid off because it's glued on. Oh no. I'm going to use my stick fast and my tight bond. Maybe, like I said, maybe. I'm getting to the end of my bottle, and so I might only be able to use my tight bond. Come on. Yeah, nothing's gonna come out. That's fine. We'll set that aside. Yeah, I don't think anything's coming out of there. So I'll use my tight bond and my and this dries probably fast enough, so it'll work. It'll work. So we'll get that glued on. You kicked yourself out of the live? How did you do that? I think Facebook must be being wonky today, huh? I got some glue. Sorry. All right, and then some. And we'll get that glued on. And then I'll hold it up here real quick, guys. But that should glue pretty quick, or hold. Hi, Shyla. Yeah, I know. You have to be careful with that, huh? I'm not sure I like that. And his little feet. You guys, please stick around. Make sure you check out what Lori's going to do and all the other presenters that are on today. Make sure you join the Freestand Tall Crafting group. Thank you, Deborah. I will finish these and I will take a picture. But that's what he's looking like so far. And I will do his little bow. I still have sawdust everywhere. But that's what he's gonna be looking like. I'll give him some little eyes. Thank you, Krista. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, let me hold that real quick. Maybe I can. Add a little, quick little bow. Yeah, I'm not sure on the buckle. I don't know. Maybe just a button. I could maybe just add a button. Just thought about that. And that. Yeah, maybe I could just add a button there. Like the button for his pants or something. So there's just a simple little, like, bow tie type. Is what I was thinking. I may have to shorten that for him. Anyway, guys, make sure you stick around. Go see what Lori's going to do. I will post a picture. Thank you all so much for being here today. And you guys have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day. Bye.